Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the fifth virtual lesson of biology. And you all know that this is your biology class, and we all have started the first chapter of the biology, that is Introduction to Biology, and this is the third lecture of this chapter. Okay. Our today's topic is relationship of biology to other sciences. It's very much clear that the objective of today's lesson is we are going to learn about the relation or how the different branches of the science are interrelated to each other. Specifically, we are going to relate biology with the other sciences, like we will relate biology to the physics, that is called as biophysics. We will relate biology to chemistry, biochemistry. Then maths, that will be called as biomathematics, biometry. It's also called as biometry. Then we will learn about the relation of biology with economics, called as bioeconomics. Then we will see that what relation the biology has with geography, called as biogeography. So I think I have made it very clear to you all that what is our lessons objective today. The objective is we are going to learn about the relation of biology to other sciences. Now you all have to open your textbooks, and this topic is on page number 4. Okay. Have you seen this image before? Yes, I have used this image in the previous video lecture also. What I told you there, like this is science, and then I told you that the knowledge, that the enormous amount of the knowledge of the science was divided into different branches. Okay. So we all know that all these green parts that are written in the green parts, they all are the branches of science. They all have originated from science. Okay, so we are specifically talking about biology. Okay, their origin is same. So what we are going to learn is actually if they have all these branches have originated from a common stem, it means they all are interrelated to each other also. Like biology is related to physics also, it's also related to chemistry also, it's also related to geography also, it's related to maths also, it's related to economics also. Okay, so what we actually do is we try to apply the laws or principle of one science on the other branch of the science to understand any particular case. So it means biology, physics, chemistry are not irrelevant or are not interrelated. They are related to each other. Okay, like I'll give you a simple example of that. Look at here that this boy, that is a living organism. If it's a living organism, it means we are talking about biology. Is it so? Now this boy is running or walking or jogging or whatever he is doing. These are the terms of the physics that can be applied on him. There is air resistance. Yes, as he will move forward, run forward, he will face air resistance. Then there is friction between the shoe sole and the ground. Yes, there is. The weight of the boy is downward. Why? Because all the weight that we have is because of the force of gravity. It depends upon how much force of attraction the earth is applying to attract you. Okay. And then if the weight is downward, then there is also the ground reaction force. So all these are the terms, or you can say the principles of the physics that we are applying to understand the movement of this living organism. Okay, so what we have done, we have tried to interrelate physics and biology. So it will become biophysics. So in order to understand the movement, the principles of movement, we must relate the laws of motion. Newton gave the laws of motion. There were 3 laws of motion that were given by Newton. Newton's first law of motion, second law of motion, and third law of motion. And you will learn about these laws of motion in physics. Okay, so we will apply those laws of the motion to understand the movement of living organism. So it means you cannot understand the living organism only on the basis of biology. You have to relate, you have to apply the laws or principles of physics and chemistry and maths and economics and geography and all other branches to understand the living organisms from each and every aspect. I think I have made it very much clear to all of you till here. If you look on your books, at the bottom of the page number 4, there is this diagram has been given. And you can see that biology is in the center. Then we will learn about the relation of biology with the chemistry. So it will become biochemistry. Okay, we will learn about the relation of biology with geography. So it will become biogeography. We will learn the relation of biology with economics. So it will become bioeconomics. We will learn about the relation of biology with physics. It will become biophysics. And same goes for mathematics also. So together it can be called as biomathematics, or it can also be called as biometry. Okay. Now, in short, what we will learn about these, like for example, if we are going to relate biology with chemistry, these are the 2 most important chemical reactions that occur in living organisms. One is photosynthesis and other one is respiration. These are the 2 types of the chemical reactions that occur in living organism. But we learn about the chemical reaction in chemistry. So it means there are chemical reactions that occur in living organisms also. So you must have the basic knowledge of chemistry to understand those chemical reactions. Got it? Same like that, if we are going to relate it with the geography, it's about the distribution of organism. Now, what is distribution of organism? You know that every organism cannot survive in every sort of environment. Okay, all organisms need a particular habitat or the particular geographical region to survive. So in biogeography, we learn about the habitat of living organism, the particular geographical regions in which those organisms live, and what sort of conditions those particular geographical regions have for the survival of that particular organism. Okay, now you got it, that how we will relate the biology with geography. Then with physics, for example, the living organisms, we all have muscles and bones, and you cannot move without, if you only have muscles, no, that's of no use, and if you only have bones, that's also of no use. You need both of these for the movement. Muscles and bones, they both work in coordination to bring about all sorts of the movements. Okay, so we need to understand that how the things move, and for that we have to refer to the basic principles of physics. Same like that in mathematics. Whenever in biology we perform experiments, we get data. What is data? We get information. Okay, that information can be in the form of dates, values, numbers, anything. Now what you have to do is, when we perform experiments and we get data, we have to analyze the data, and after the analysis of the data we get the particular result. Now my point is, when we want to analyze the data, the numbers or the values that we have got, we have to apply maths. So that's biomathematics. Got it? Same like that, what relation biology has with economics. Now in economics, basically we learn about the benefits and the losses. Okay, what benefit I got if I will do this particular business. If I, for example, if a farmer has grown a crop, for example, he has grown a wheat crop, he harvests the crop, then he sells it. Okay, then he will calculate that how much, whether I have got the profit, whether I have got the benefit, or how much loss I have faced. For that we have to apply the principles or the laws of economics, so it will become bioeconomics. And we will relate, or we are going to relate biology with basically these 5 sciences. Okay, now look on your books what's written in the introduction paragraph of this topic. And I hope I think I don't need to read all this, because you all can understand it very well now, that we are learning about the interrelationship among different branches of the science. Now it forms the basis of interdisciplinary sciences. You can say that biophysics, biochemistry, biomathematics, bioeconomics, biogeography, these are inter means inter, whenever the word inter is used, means between. Okay, so it's interdisciplinary sciences. The definition of interdisciplinary sciences has not been given in the book, so write it down. This is the definition of interdisciplinary sciences. What is written over here? Those sciences which have been derived from 2 or more branches of science. Like biophysics has been derived from 2 branches of science, biology and physics. Got it? In what we do, in these branches or sciences, the laws and principles of the parent science are followed while studying a particular case. When we are studying any particular case, we apply the laws or principle of one science to the other science. For example, to understand the movement of the living organisms, we apply the laws or principles of physics to understand which particular case, the particular case of movement. Got it? So pause the video and write down this definition. After writing this paragraph, introductory paragraph in the long question, you will write the definition of the interdisciplinary sciences in the inverted commas. Okay? So let's start now. Sorry. This is your topic actually. Okay, if you look on page number 4, we have done till here. And I think it will be very easy for you now to learn it. Okay, the very first interdisciplinary science is biophysics. So what's written in the definition? It deals with the study of the principles of the physics which are applicable to biological phenomena. We only learn about or talk about those principles of the physics that are applicable to living organism. I have given you one example. Another example is, for example, there is similarity between the working principle of liver in physics and limbs of the animals in biology. Hold on for a second. This one, we are going to learn about the similarity between the liver and the limbs of the animals. Now you will say, what are the limbs? Limbs are the simply extensions of your bodies. For example, your both arms and your both legs are the extensions of your body. So they are limbs. You have 2 arms and 2 legs, and these are the limbs of your bodies. Now liver is actually the term of physics. Now let's take a diagram to understand it. You have learnt in the previous classes that what is liver. Liver is any simple machine that makes our work easier. And you have learnt about different types of the liver also in the, I think it's in 7th class maybe, the chapter. In the liver, there are three main terms: fulcrum, effort, and load. Okay, now this is what we have learned in physics. Okay, now let's apply these three terms, the fulcrum, load, and effort, on our limb. For example, this is the arm. Okay, now this is your upper arm and this is your lower arm. Okay, now if you are holding something in this hand, then that's the load. Okay, now this your elbow is your fulcrum on which your lower arm moves. Okay, and this is the effort that you will do with the help of the bicep. Now let me remove all this. For example, this muscle is your bicep. Okay, you know, we move when our muscles contract. Okay, the muscles are attached with the bone, and when the muscles contract, the movements are produced. So we have applied these three terms of load, fulcrum, and effort to understand that how the arm moves. Okay, so that's why in your book there is written that there is similarity between the working principles of the liver and the limbs. Now this is biophysics, and I hope that it's easy for you now to understand it. Now next one is biochemistry, the study of the different compounds and the processes occurring in living organism. Compounds, molecules, atoms, all these are learnt in chemistry, but they all are present in the body of living organisms also, in our body also. Okay, for example, to study the basic metabolism of the photosynthesis and respiration involves the knowledge of chemistry. I told you that the two best examples of the chemical reactions that occur in living organisms are photosynthesis and respiration. And we will learn about photosynthesis and respiration in detail in the 7th chapter. Okay, so far you have to memorize that these are the two chemical reactions that occur in the body of living organisms. Okay, and this applies the knowledge of, for example, look at here, photosynthesis, carbon dioxide and water is required, and food, glucose is made and oxygen is produced as a byproduct. So this is a chemical reaction and it occurs in plants. Now what is respiration? The respiration is actually the breakdown of that food back into this. Okay, so it means photosynthesis and respiration are reverse of each other. Photosynthesis is the synthesis of food and respiration is actually the breakdown of that food to get energy. So got it? These are the two chemical reactions, and don't worry, you will learn about them in detail in 7th chapter also. Okay, and we will continue the lecture in the next video lecture. So you have to learn till biochemistry. Okay, Allah Hafiz.